everybody. It's Friday the 5th of February 2021 and it's episode 63. I'm Marie.
63. Good afternoon. I'm Dominique.
Yay! Are you all right?
Yes. I've just sat down and the sun's come out and I've got a jumper on. I'm all warm, but it'll go in again in a minute.
I was going to say, I'm sat here with the light on because it's gone dark here, so... Like
it doesn't know what it's doing, but...
I have no idea what
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you all?
It's been a weird weather for week. Weird weather for week. A weird week for weather. I'll get my teeth in. Yeah. What a weird week it's been. We've had, like, hail, snow, sun...
I was going to say Monday after Knitter Natter, it was beautiful. Yeah. I went all over the fields. I went all over the place. Tuesday morning, wake up to snow.
It didn't last long though, did it?
No, it didn't.
I put a post on to say, yay, snow. And then when I looked at it again, it had gone. I was a bit disappointed. And
It's coming at the weekend. Maybe.
Maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, it does. It's been really weird, the weather. It's been not too cold and then freezing cold and then yeah, really weird. A good excuse to stay knit.
It is. I've not got it with me, but that Everyday Nature book that I showed, I think last week, the page that introduces February says something about basically you start to see the snowdrops and the crocuses, and spring's on its way, and it says something like. Although winter might have a punch left in it, it's a boxer that's never going to win. Basically spring's going to win. We might get a bit of winter, but we're on our way to spring. So it was a really nice way of describing it.
It's right, because February can sometimes be horrendous weather or really nice weather, can't it? And then you sometimes get into March and you get hit again by it, don't you? It's really
weird. Anyway. But you just start to see the daffs are springing up, just the leaves, and the snowdrops are out, and there's colour, isn't there? Wherever you go, there's colour. And I was saying on Wednesday, when you get up at 6 o'clock, it's not pitch black. There's just a little bit of grey in the sky. So it's all heading in the right direction.
You could have convinced yourself on Monday, looking out at the sun, that it was a warm, sunny day outside. The sun was that bright. It looked, and the sky was really blue. The sun was warm. There was warmth in the sun when you got out. Just the wind's a bit chilly, but not particularly short weather, which it looked like from outside. Inside, it looks really nice. But anyway,
I have seen some postmen in shorts, but I don't know if they're in shorts all the time.
Some postmen are in shorts all the time.
They are, yeah.
Like your dad.
Yeah, I think he comes out of shorts for maybe like November, December, January.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, less of the weather forecast. We've done our weather forecast now.
Yes.
We'll get onto some woolly stuff and some knitting things. So I put on the social media. You'll see that we've not got many of the bakery boxes left, which is macaroons this time.
Yes.
I just put a final post because we'll be stopping the orders shortly anyway, won't we? So that
so that I can get it dyed and
So if anybody wants them, it's really this weekend. As I say, we haven't got many left anyway, but this weekend, then they'll be taken off stock. So if you do want any, you need to get
you need to get in there this weekend. I don't know, either nobody's talking to us today, or I've not got any chat.
No, I'm the same. Nobody wants to talk.
Right, that's fine. Maybe just people aren't talking to us today. That's fine. I keep thinking, I need to refresh it, but that's fine.
No, silent watchers, that's what we like.
Yeah.
We like you to chat. The other thing as well, which I keep forgetting to mention, and I said as we came off air last week, Iris, who's Knitterish Designs, who comes along to the shows, those things you used to be able to go to and see where real wool was, like in the year, whatever. Iris, who designed quite a lot of our early shawls, has just put patterns up for her cardigans. I think at the shows last year, towards the tail end, she did bring some of the cardigans, and people were asking when they were going to be available. She's finally got round to them, and they are on her Ravelry site. So it's Knitterish Designs. So if you want to have a look at them, she's made them up in our yarn. It's all 4-ply. There's mosaic, and there's some using up mini skeins or using up your stash as well. So take a look at those. I did say that we were going to mention, I've completely forgotten. She's also put a hat up as well, which I think is free at the minute. She's got a hat on there. So I think that's using double knit yarn.
There's obviously, sorry, oh, that's it started. So I could just see, I've just put someone on there. Yeah. Caroline was saying they can see and hear us, but they were getting error messages, but the chat's coming through now, so that's fine. We just like to know you're there, ladies.
We do. Normally you're pinging straight up, you see. Yeah. We're like, busy reading it.
Excellent, that's fine.
So yes, if you want to have a look at Knitterish Designs, the patterns are all on her website. So and
I can't remember how far back they went, but I do know anyone that came to Woolness,
it was definitely there at Woolness, because I had to take it. I had to put a sign on it to say the
yes
isn't available yet, because everybody was asking us for it.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
We've not. Well, I've not touched on it. I don't know what that was. Yeah. So if you came to Woolness, I know it was a long time ago, and bless her, it's taken her a long time, but that's one of the cardigans, and then she's done another one. So.
So as I said, one's a mosaic pattern, and another one is just knitting, but using the different banding at the top of the yoke on the cardigan. So there's a couple of different patterns there.
We did give her 6 minis and 100 grams, I think, and said, "Can you design a shawl for us?" And then she turned into a cardigan. Yeah. So that I think must be done. I think the bands on the yoke must be done in minis.
Yeah. But
yeah,
take a look if you're interested in the cardigans.
Yes.
So I think that was all I'd forgotten. Was there anything else I'd forgotten from last week? I think that was it.
That was the only thing you said as we came off last week. You said, I keep forgetting to say it.
And the bakery boxes, that was the other thing. So I've done all my
you've done all your admin.
Done all my admin, tick, done all my social announcements, tick. We've given you the weather. Let's talk wool.
Now you're all here, then we know you're all here now. We can carry on.
All right, thanks, Lynn, for trying to let us know on Facebook. But because we're on here, we can't monitor everything else. So
no,
yeah. But thank you anyway. We've got to the bottom. We thought it was a bit odd.
Yeah. Who knows? Thank you, Claire. Yeah, they are done in 20 gram minis. I thought they were, only because we'd given her the minis to do a shawl, and it like she says, the wool just talks to us sometimes, and it wanted to be a cardigan, so
it morphed into a cardigan.
Yes. Yeah.
What have you got then today?
Well,
you start off this time.
Let me start off, because I've got a couple of things that I've finished. I've had to move around because of the sun, and now everything's nearly out of reach.
What's on your jumper today? Because I just keep seeing bits of you.
Oh, it's a winter jumper.
Oh, I love it. All I could see was the bits on the top of the... Oh, that's fantastic. Where's that from?
I mean, people might say it's a Christmas jumper, but I think it's just sheep in hats.
Exactly.
Mistral.
That's really nice. All I could see was the blue bits in a rather strange pace.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
You look like you have blue nipples.
You get your whole self in.
Well, not really. Only get this bit in.
No, but I mean, that's no better. That's worse.
That's worse. It was all I could see.
But yeah, it's 3 sheep with little hats on. And I thought with the snow coming, with the forecast of the snow coming, then I'll put it on.
I like Mistral's clothing. They have nice stuff, don't
I really like it.
And can you remember, where was it we went? We'd bought some off the internet, both of us independently, hadn't we? And then we went somewhere and there was a Mistral shop. Where was that? When we were away with the girls.
Well, it was south, because they're only ever south. I first came across them when I did my tour of Britain before I was 40, and I found them in somewhere like Henley-on-Thames or...
And I bought something off the internet that was a Mistral.
I don't know. I can't. Wherever it was, it would have been south.
Would have been south. I mean, well, that's narrowed it down. I mean, that just goes to show. It was a long time ago.
It was a long time
We
ago.
were allowed out. It was a long time ago.
Hello, Lynn. What's your weather like over there, Lynn?
Yes. I dread.
I mean, my British geography is okay. My world geography is atrocious, and my American geography is not very good. So I don't really know whereabouts in America Wisconsin is.
No, neither do I. But we'll pretend we know.
So, Lynn, you could be
in sun or snow.
Yeah, sun or snow. Are you east or west or somewhere in the middle? Anyway, yeah, my geography is appalling.
Show us what you've got.
Ta-da!
Yay! Oh, wow. Do you know
they
what?
Are finished.
That wool, I'm impressed with it.
I am really, really impressed with it. I mean, the socks I do, they only come up to about there. They're almost off the top of my sock blockers. I was going to say I would never do them that long again, but I would if I did stripy again.
Yeah, they look nice. How much left?
I've not got it. I mean,
we are doing an informational podcast here, and there's vlog, should I say?
2 balls about that big.
So not a huge amount then.
No. I will weigh it. After this, I'll weigh it. I'll put a picture of these on and I'll tell you how much is left.
Yeah.
But they are big. There was, what did I say there was? I think there's 3 stripes. When I cast off the toe, I think there was another 3. So another 5 inches.
Yeah.
And they are really long in the leg.
Nice.
So the pattern as it was on the bottom of the ball band, you cast on, and then it says knit until you get to the orange.
Oh, it tells you what colour to stop at.
Yeah, but actually, so I thought there was something special about the orange, but there isn't. So in hindsight, I could have just stopped blue and done it.
Nice. Looks nice.
So that's the only thing I would do, just to make them shorter and so I can do them quicker. But it's the Regia Pairfect. I think it was the rainbow colourway, wasn't it? I think it was called rainbow colourway. First time I've used Regia, and I really, really like it.
I'm impressed with those, definitely.
And that's difficult because you can never tell, can you? But I prefer them knit than I did in the ball.
Yes, they look completely different. I've got to say, I know it's sock yarn, it's designed for stripy socks, but I think it would make quite a nice scarf. You know, if you're just doing a backward fold, really simple stripy scarf, it would make quite a nice effect, I think.
Or a hat.
Or a hat even. Or a cowl.
Yeah. I mean, I really like it. So I'm really pleased.
It does look good.
They are done.
Yeah, looks good. Do you want to see what I've finished?
I have started using my knitters project, but so I've started.
Oh, look at you getting all organised.
I know. So I cast these on the 3rd, and I cast them off on the 31st of January. So I did them in a month.
Very good. You see, I have Instagram for how long it took me to make things.
Well,
but I did like your idea of how you did with Caroline's, of taking a picture of things you've knitted in 1 month.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do that for February, just because it's nice at the end of the year to be able to do a montage.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, good idea. I like that idea.
Particularly when some things are gift knits, so you're never going to have them, are you?
Yeah.
But I thought I'd put in here how much I'd got left, but I haven't, so I will.
Lovely.
I will do that.
Yeah. Well, I had to copy what Dominique had done because I thought it was so nice. The Stars at Midnight Cowl, and it seems everybody's knitting it. I mean, Caroline started us off knitting it, and everybody we know seems to be knitting it. And I did mine in some stash that I had. So this is a silk, one of ours. I thought it was mint big last time, but it isn't. It was one of our old ones. So it's silk and super wash marine. So it's really soft. and then the purple's Stylecraft Bellissima. So I've just mixed and matched. But I blocked mine a bit too severely. I didn't read what it needed to be blocked to. I just shoved it. I finished it. I was so excited to finish it and did my usual of hang it in the window between the two windows in the bay. And it went a little bit big. So I then tumble dried it and it's not too bad. So that's my...
It didn't go a bit big. You just didn't read the pattern and stop when it got to the size it needed to be.
That's what I did. So the knitting was right, but it's because I stretched it too much. I just stretched it far too big because I actually did less stitches than you and I knitted less than you because I would run out of wool. So
yeah, I mean, yours just looks...
I've got less stitches here, less rows here. And I did, I've got a lot less rows there.
But mine is to the schematics of the pattern. Yeah. And yours is much drapier as well.
But it's the silk. It's really...
Yeah, it will be the silk.
And I think that's what's done it. I've made it give too much. So, so that's my... I think I'm going to knit a plain one. I quite fancy just doing a plain one, maybe in grey. So it looks a bit like a polo neck. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. But they are... I mean, like you say, Caroline... knit it first on one of our knit and natter ladies, and they're just such a nice.
And I might even go smaller because it's quite long that on me.
Yeah, but it's not. It's only 14 inches. The pattern, the schematics is only 14 inches.
Well, we'll wait and see. I think next time I'll block it to how it should be.
Yeah,
that was a really nice quick knit.
Yes,
I know Sarah for number 4. She ordered some of our blueberry twist, and she's knitted up really quick. But
I didn't. She didn't get the yarn. I didn't dye it till the weekend. She got it on Monday. She'd had it finished Wednesday or Thursday. It was on social media, wasn't it?
Really quick, nice knit. Nice rhythmic knit. Thank you, Pat. Yeah, I'm happy with it. But again, it was literally just stash and this bit, I literally hardly used any. I think it took less than 20 grams easy on mine. So, a nice stash knit. So there we go. That's that. What else have you got there? You've done you see, I like it in a plain colour. Do you know what? I think you see the stitch definition more.
This is not for me. It's not my colour. This is for a friend of ours' birthday.
That's beautiful. Look at...
I can't see the screen now. Can you see the stitches?
You hold yours there and I'll hold mine. You can see the stitch definition a lot better on the...
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
I really love that. Yeah.
You see, I thought...
It looks like a waffle stitch on the pink one.
It really does. Now, that is done with... let me check my book. That's done with Drops Nepal.
Nice.
Which I really like, but it is an Aran weight and it's a DK pattern. But I just knit to the sizes.
Oh, the pattern?
Yeah. But when I cast that one on first, I cast in the burgundy. And I thought, it's not going to look right. And I think because the burgundy is really dark, you couldn't see the stitches.
That looks stunning. I love it.
I think it looks beautiful in
like that
plain. So that has taken... I've got
contrasting colour because you can't really see what colour it is. Is it a purpley? Oh, nice. Oh, you've gone for this.
Gone for the scapies. Stone washed because it does go. So that's how much I've got left of the 100 grams. So it's taken 2 balls of Aran.
I like it in the stone washed. I've got loads of that.
I've just weighed that, albeit it's got the ball band, but there's 31 grams left.
Yeah.
So it's 20 grams. Sarah did hers with a 20 gram mini.
I might do one in the Schjeepes. I bet it'd be nice for summer.
I'd bought that colour because our friend is such a pink girl, isn't she? Really pale pink. So, and I just thought it needs a bit of a contrast. So that's what I did.
It's really good for just to stash shoes up, isn't it? Don't drop anything.
So it was the tea I was bothered about. So that is all done, ready for her birthday later in the month. But yeah, the stitches,
waffle, doesn't it?
The stitches look fab.
Beautiful.
And I know it's a bit. Well, I went up to a. What was the pattern?
Pattern was
a 4, and I went up to a 5.
Right,
just because it was Aran weight, and it's quite a dense fabric as it is. I thought it's going to be too dense, the fabric, if I do it on a 4. So I did go up to a 5.
Nice.
But yeah, and again, I don't know. I do know when I cast it on, but again, it took. I cast it on the 1st, and I cast it off last night.
Nice.
And I've been at work, so this has just been an evening.
That's really good. I like it.
So that is, I know we've said it last week, but it's The Stars at Midnight by Amanda Stevens.
Yeah. Who
is Cold Sheep Designs. So
not like your jumper, not Cold Sheep. They're not cold.
They are cold sheep, aren't they? Because
they are, but they're cold and they're hopefully getting warmer.
Shapies.
We like a link. We like a tenuous link.
We do. Shapies. That's how you say it. It's Dutch for little boat.
Little boat, yeah. So we'll just call it the little boat yarn.
Yes.
Little.
Nice link.
Nice link. I finished another cardigan.
Oh, you'd started this one last week, hadn't you?
So it just needs blocking.
I love them colours.
So that's my banana split one.
That is. Is
it salad? It's fruit salad, isn't it?
It is.
Salad fruits. So that's the Gidday pattern. And I'm now doing another one on blue, and I'm just sort of making this up. I'm using that pattern for the sizing, but I'm doing it all just knit stitch. So even this just gives it a bit more of a bulk.
I am listening. I'm just looking for a pencil.
So I'm doing a similar sort of thing, but I've just done it as 4 rows, following the same pattern for that. But I just think it gives it a completely different texture. It just makes it look a bit thicker.
Yes.
It's the same wool, but just because you're doing a knit row each time.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying that. Again, they're so easy to sit and knit because you don't have to think, because I can watch, sit and do it in front of the telly or whatever. And
what yarn is it?
That yarn is Bo Peep.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
West Yorkshire Spinners Bo Peep. So yeah, they've got some lovely colours. But it's weird. It just looks thinner than that, and it's exactly the same wool.
But garter always looks particularly unblocked.
Yeah. So I just thought it would give it a different texture. So that'll be my 3 little cardigans that'll go winging the way when I've got that.
And have you got the same buttons for them all?
Similar buttons. They're all wooden with different patterns on. So yes, that's been done. The other thing that I've been knitting, you like this?
Oh, go on.
What am I knitting?
Oh!
I mean, I'm knitting Lego blocks.
That's better. The red was blowing out a bit.
How cool are they?
But there you go. Just move it slightly so you can see the bobble.
I mean, when you block it, they sort of go flatter. Do you know what I mean?
That is. Oh, so you're even doing them different sizes?
Yeah. So the pattern I'm using for the blocks is Building Blocks Blanket, and that's by Becca Hulme Designs. And on hers, I'm trying to do it without sort of showing the. You can knit it. She does it in tarsha like that.
Oh, right.
Or you can knit separate blocks and then just join them together, which is what I'm doing, because one of the ladies this morning had a brainwave because I thought, it's going to take me ages to do. And she said, you could just do them as an initial. So that's what I'm doing. I'm knitting a plain blanket and I'm doing the initial in Lego blocks.
Is it a
Easy initial.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Is it an initial with just straight lines?
Because it's a present, you see. So
yes,
but they love Lego. The parents love Lego, and I just wanted to do something, and I thought, oh, that might take me ages. Where this way, I might be able to get it done this week. So
you're literally just going to stitch them on top of the blanket that you knit.
So the Lego blocks I've got red, green, yellow, blue, and white. All that sort of the Lego colours. They look a bit brighter because I've got the bright light on. They've knit up bigger than I thought, and they're really easy to knit. You hold it double, so it's basically knitting chunky. But I'm just knitting Stylecraft Special, so it's just cheap as chips wool. But what a lovely! I wasn't sure how they'd look, but I tell you what.
Just show us the pattern again. Just show us the picture of the pattern. What a really, really nice idea.
Because to start off with, I looked at it and I thought, oh, and it said in Tarsha. I thought, oh, I'm not doing it that way. It'd be a pain with all the balls. But I'll just knit each block separately, and then when I read the pattern, as you do, it does say you can do that and just join them together as you want. So for people who like Lego, I think there's also a crochet pattern when I looked on Ravelry, because that's where I found it. But it's dead simple to knit. Really, really simple.
That is really, really nice.
And like I said, they're bigger than I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting them probably to be like, a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Big. So.
Yeah, but that's even better. You have to do less to.
Exactly. So that's what I've sort of been cracking on with. And the blanket is in Stylecraft Special mixed with Bellissima as well, because I had a load of cream left, so I thought I'll just
again just held double.
Just held double, yeah.
Nice.
So it's only going to be like a baby blanket size. So yeah, that's that. So if anybody likes Lego, I thought, oh god, that's a really nice idea. You can make all sorts with that.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. So
I mean, you could actually put them together and do just like a massive Doctor Who style Lego scarf.
But you could also do bunting with them. You could make your bunting shape. Could either do a not a pelmet. So what's that?
Pendant. Pennant.
Pennant or a triangle. You could do a biggish one, and you could put Lego blocks.
Or you could just have them as the shapes.
Yeah.
That would look really cool.
Also with the pattern, she does another pattern, and it's Lego blocks in hats. They are cool. They're really cool. They're hats with just Lego blocks on them. Really good.
Well, I'll link to the pattern, and I'll link.
Yes.
I'll link you to the designer so you can go and have a look if anybody. I'm just thinking like bunting. I think that would look amazing. Am I getting dark? The sun's gone in completely. The blind's closed and I feel like I'm sat in the dark.
Yeah.
But if I don't look like I'm in the dark, I'll stay as I am. But tell me if I look like
I will tell you if your picture goes a bit. I think
yeah, tell me if
I've got my light on, so it's probably the difference between us. You look a bit hazy and mysterious.
Good. That's the way I like it. You can't see properly.
Like got a filter on, like one of those hazy filters on.
I think it's just the phone.
What you need actually, I'm just, when you were saying about the height, you need to be sat on another cushion. That's all it is. You just need to be sat on another cushion.
Well, when I go and turn the light on, I'll sit on a cushion. Or I could just lower the camera. You see, that doesn't help.
No,
and that's like
you sat on a cushion. You just need to put a cushion under your bum. I mean, this is where anything could happen. The camera could go, something will spill. Oh dear. What are you balanced on today? The ironing board?
a chair.
Oh, right.
A chair.
I've shown you pictures before of how we have a setup.
And I do change it. Is that better?
We can see your jumper. That's better.
I think it's because I'm in the top corner and I've got the live on YouTube that it's like cutting off my head, so it looks like I'm too tall, but
no, it isn't. You see, on the picture that I'm recording on, we're side by side and there's loads of room, so you're fine.
excellent. That's fine.
Next time we'll do this before we actually press the button. I'll tell her to sit on a stool or something, and we'll work it out. It's much better when we do it online.
I mean, we've only been doing this for a year. Do you know what? I think a year ago is now I was away for my first of my 3 weekends.
I think you were.
I think I was in Durham.
You were, and then we did Centre Park.
Then we did Centre Parks, and then we did Scarborough.
And we did.
That was a year ago.
It's stay in your own living room.
Anyway, I've got one more finished object.
Oh, wow. That's really blocked out well.
I cannot believe
it's huge.
It is enormous. I cannot believe how much it's blocked and how well it's blocked, because the wool, I just didn't have any faith in the wool.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's half of it.
Yeah, massive.
It is. I really, really like this.
Ooh.
So it took, because the green was stash that I'd got, and I'd got 450 grams, so I'd got 200 grams of it. Yeah. So and it was fingering weight, not double knit, so I was holding it double, and I ran out for the last 2 rows. Not that you can see, because you're meant to cast off in the mohair or the 4-ply you were using, but just before it, I ran out. I was weighing it every row, and I knew I was going to run out. So I found a green that was a very similar colour. So I held one strand of the real colour with this green for 2 rows, and I got the last 2 rows done out of it with that much left to spare.
Yarn chicken.
I kept thinking, I just need to, because I was weighing it. I knew how many rows I would get done, and it's worked. I really like the fact that you go back to your. I didn't do the mohair. I just did 4-ply.
Yeah. Nice.
Because it gives it a real nice drapey finish. So it has blocked to be enormous. It's softened up a lot. It's a lot drapier than I thought it was going to be.
Nice.
So I am really, really pleased with that. That's my sister's favourite cowl from
Cozy Up Knits.
Cozy Up Knits, that's right. And the yarn I was just using stash.
Oh, wait till she gets the book out. I mean, this is going to be in like 3 months' time. We'll go, Dominique, what was that thing? Wait till I get my book.
I've not put this in my. Oh, I have. I've not put the ball band in. It was called Arter's Knot. Was the wool, but I've had this for 5 years.
Oh, right.
So, and then I still can't find. I need to go back on the podcasts.
Yeah.
And what I did, it was one of the strands I held for the love note that I did.
Right.
That I'd got spare. So, yeah.
Nice.
I'm really pleased with it.
Yeah, it suits you.
It is proper thick, warm,
nice,
heavy, cozy. I wasn't sure with that, and I really, really like it. So, that the last clue, I thought, there's not that much knitting. The last clue did seem to take forever, but it was done and blocked, I think, by Sunday, and I didn't get the pattern till Friday, so I did it over the weekend. So
I cast mine off last week because I didn't add the extra bit on because mine seemed massive anyway. So, so I just left mine without it on, and it is a really big short. The only thing I'm disappointed in is where I cast on in the cable, and it's still a bit tight. And I think if I was to do it again, I wouldn't bother doing that cable. And to be fair, it's a nice bit on the pattern, but you don't really see it, do you? The cable on when you wear it, because it's the bit that you don't see.
No,
it's a lot of work.
I just think it's a nice edging. You're right, you don't particularly see it, And it doesn't, I don't think it looks like a cable. I think it looks...
that you put towards your neck anyway. So when you put it on, you don't really see it. So
I think it looks just more like a twist.
Yes, it is more like a twist, but I cast on the cable bit too tight. So I've got quite a puckered bit at the beginning. Mine's quite puckered.
Yeah, I mean, mine is.
And I just think that bit you could have just cast on plain and then still carried on with the, you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, I think...
If you put it on now, where you wear it, you never see it.
Yes.
It folds over. So it's like you do all that nice work and you don't see that edge at all.
No, it does just feel like a rope twist.
Yeah.
At the beginning, but
one of our ladies did it with just because there was an option of just doing it as a garter stitch, wasn't there? And I think you could have, you know, just do
I'm planning on doing it again, and I would do the cable just because I like the finish it gives. But yeah, there is the option just to do it without the cable. So
it looks really nice, really pretty.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. So it is on my would like to do again, but there's that many on the would like to knit pile, whether or not I'll go back to it.
I want to knit this again, and I'm thinking in Midnight and Cream. I just want, you know, just a one that goes with everything. I love this one. I wear this one quite a lot. So this is Knox Mountain and Laurel.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm just fated with this bloody jumper. I've started my cardigan. You see the twist in it. You can. Yeah, because I'm only on the start of it.
Yes.
But it's like the seersucker. I've been sneezing with it.
Really? But what, you didn't sneeze when you did the barrel, did you?
No, but when I was thinking about it, I'd knit a lot of that outside. It was when it was summertime and I was knitting it, it was outside. I was sat the other day and I was knitting with it. I have got really sensitive eyes and I'm funny with perfumes and things. And I was knitting and I couldn't stop sneezing. And I was thinking, what is it? Why am I sneezing? Am I getting cold? Is it, you know, couldn't stop sneezing. And then I rubbed my eyes and my eyes came up. Dominique, I think you might be receiving this pink wool as a present. But honestly, it was so bad. I could not stop sneezing. I thought, well, this is ridiculous. I've knit with it before. But
you have knit a lot of it because you've sat and knit to natter, so you've definitely knit with it inside.
With it, but for some reason, it was making me sneeze. It was hilarious. Honestly, I thought, I'm just fated with this blooming jumper. So I haven't really done very much of that. But I do like the pattern. The stitch pattern's really nice. But look, I mean, I've just taken.
But what's the pattern?
And look at all the fat. There's blooming loads of them. The pattern is, I mentioned it last week.
It's something about the smocking something.
Yes, it is. That's well remembered. Oh, that's good. I've picked the two pieces. So that's it's Petite Knits Classic Smocking Cardigan.
I knew it was Smocking Cardigan. I couldn't remember the first name.
Beautiful wool. I love the wool, but I think it's because it's very fibre, you know, bits of fibre. And you know what I'm like with fluff.
So I was just looking. Hello, Judith.
Hello.
Who's coming to us from Toronto.
Hello, and hello, number 4.
Okay. Sarah, we were just saying how quickly you've knit and how beautiful your Stars at Midnight. We've just shown ours.
Yeah, we were just looking at those. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know whether to wear. I don't know. But the bits were coming off and they were getting up my nose, and I was just sneezing. It was hilarious.
Yeah, you've just done the my sister's favourite cowl, and that was mohair, wasn't it?
It was, but I knit with it and it wasn't too bad. But thankfully, it's nowhere near my face, because I think if it was anywhere near my face, I would be itching like mad. It's right at the very bottom, the lace panel. Who knows? Who knows?
No.
But I put it on.
You would think it would make you sneeze while you were knitting it as well, wouldn't you?
I know. But when I was knitting with that, that felt very, very greasy. Do you know what I mean? So it was as if
Right.
there was a lanolin on it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know whether it's this because I've pulled it out and worked it. I think I might have loosened the fibres a bit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're re-knitting it. Yeah.
I'm re-knitting it, so it could be that.
Yes.
So
that's just going to one side for now.
For the time being, maybe till I can get outside and knit.
So what else are you working on? Or is it you're going to be a blanket?
Nothing. So I'm working on the blanket. I'm working on the cardigans. I've still got my cowl that I'm working on, but I haven't done anything on that because I need to get these cardigans done. So I've done nothing there. And I've got my jumper, which I showed you, and I haven't done any more on that. I've just been trying to concentrate on this present. I need to get that away. But I forgot to show you this book the other week that I bought. Alterknits.
Alterknits.
Directionary. A dictionary. I mean, for goodness sake, Marie, get a grip. And when I looked at it first, I thought it was all mosaic knitting pattern, but it's not. It's intarsia, so it's all colour work. But oh my god, and it literally is just loads and loads of different patterns. But there's just, I mean, there's loads of different things. So there's like animals.
Oh wow!
It's just completely fucked. There's sheep.
Hang on. Go.
I don't want to show too much because it's like the pattern.
Oh right.
So the sheep.
Oh yeah, I couldn't see. Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to work out how to do it because I'm conscious that.
Yeah, sorry. I kept thinking, you're not letting us see. You're showing us. I'm not letting us see.
So there's butterflies, bicycles. Honestly, it's an absolutely. There's you name it. There's toadstools. There's leaves.
Tortoise.
I mean, you've done it right. There's
you name it.
There's an octopus. There's a pooping pig because we all need one of them. Drops, little bike. What did you say?
Tortoise.
Scarab, robots, cake or death, elephants. I've said it now, haven't I? I said there's everything in it, but flipping spiders, a monkey, squirrel, hand.
I mean, there really is a lot in there.
I mean, bees. I've said it, haven't I? Do you know, there isn't a tortoise. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I said there was everything in there. The one thing that Dominique
nearly everything in there.
But as well
is there a cow?
No, there isn't a cow because I did look for that. But there's projects, so there's actual knitting patterns in it as well. So let me see if I can show you a picture.
Just while you're doing that, I was just reading the comments. Judith was saying she's had to stop knitting with Floof while she's on Zoom because she's ever having to pull fibres out of her mouth.
I know. I think that's what it is. I think it's just the loose spiders. I mean, for goodness sake.
Yarn Street UK. Hello. She's saying put the yarn in the fridge before working and it stops the fluff. Nice.
Oh. Cake or death for the Izzard band. Yes, there is. There's cake or death, Stuart. Let me try and get that picture. There it is. I mean, there's a masked bandit above it. So there's the cake or death at the bottom there.
A bit high. Oh, yes.
And there's the bandit cats. I mean, there's some really nice things in it. So that's Alterknits. I got it off Amazon and it's by Andrea Rangel. But loads of absolute, I mean, that's, you can see the front there. There's lots of different patterns on it. Beautiful.
Fantastic.
But originally when I bought it, I thought it was a
mosaic,
and it's not. It's got absolutely all sorts in. It's a lovely book. So I might incorporate some of those in a pair of socks, you know, just at the top, around the top.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that I like about it is at the back there's a page, and without having to go to each pattern and look at each separate pattern. So if you wanted something that had so many stitches.
Oh, it's got your stitch count on it.
got a stitch count on it straight away. So if you wanted to make a cowl and it had different patterns, it gives you all the ones that like go over 20 stitches or go over 10 stitches.
So if you know I always cast on 64 stitches for my socks.
Yeah.
So then you're just looking for anything that's divisible in 2.
Yes.
You're looking for something that's a factor of 64.
That's exactly what you're doing. Or you would then change your stocks to 65 or 66.
Yes.
But,
yes.
Yes, I thought it was when it came, I thought, oh, it's not what I wanted. But then when I read it, and I thought, oh my, I really like this. Got some.
But I was just thinking, I know you're away with your cowl, but you could just put something in your cowl as well, couldn't you?
Yes.
You could put a row of sheep or
a row of sheep,
a row of elephants,
or a row of Cape Corday. So
yeah.
There's lots and lots of things in there. So that's a really, really nice book. You've gone all star spangled with your sunlight starting to come in now on the blind.
Right, let me go and just put the.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, you're gonna get a flash of my leggings.
Nice peacock leggings.
I realised.
Sit on a cushion. There you go. Nice peacock leggings.
There we go. Back in the room.
I'm looking for a knitting stitch book by the Knitting Bible for basic knitting stitches, and it's got loads of different textured stitches in. I really like that. I think it's if you searched on Amazon, there's quite a few knitting Bibles. They're really good for showing you what different stitches look like and how to do them, and they've got lots in. I would recommend that for I use mine quite a bit, the Knitting Bible.
Yeah.
Or if not, look on Ravelry. Ravelry have quite a lot of free patterns, especially like mosaic or textured stitches. I can't remember the name of the person, but if you go on and search on not on Ravelry, on Pinterest.
Pinterest, yes.
On Pinterest, and just put knitting stitches. There's like loads and they're free. But for an actual book, I personally would recommend the Knitting Bible.
Well, I mean, I've got that, and it is something I go to.
And they also do a crochet Bible as well, which is very similar. So it's got loads of crochet stitches in.
Yes.
So I would definitely recommend those. And they weren't that expensive. In fact, I think I lent my knitting Bible to my cousin. She's got that at the minute. But
and they do them in different sizes, because I think I've got an A4 and an A5 one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't ask me why I've got 2, but yeah. I've got an A4 and an A5 one.
One of them probably mine. It's maybe you I gave it to.
No, I definitely bought them, because I think I looked and thought, it says A5, it's a different book. Yeah. And then it came and it's the same book, just smaller.
But they are good books, Michelle. And it's nice because it just gives you pictures of all, say, pearl stitches or slip stitches or knit and pearl stitches. It sort of puts them down textured.
And there's projects in there as well, isn't there? Some basic projects.
That was one of the first books I bought when I started knitting again.
Yeah.
Head back into it. The sky is horrendously. It's just gone so black here.
It's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain.
Rain.
I don't know if anybody else has got any suggestions. If anybody else has got any suggestions that's on live at the minute, just put them in the live chat for Michelle. But yeah, so that was a nice book that I purchased. I'm always on the look for nice books, and I did buy the socks 2 at a time by your toe-up socks
of Wendy D. Johnson.
I bought it as a Kindle book. I bought it as an ebook, and which is good because then I can print it off. You can print them off, you see. I like to print them off and write on them, as if by magic. I mean, how good are we? How good are we? I don't have to mention it nowadays.
Yeah. It's because I've always got it to hand, and this is a project in waiting.
Nice bag.
I mean, nice bag.
Is that from Who Shall Not Be Named?
Yes, that is.
They're nice double-pointed needle things.
Ready to go.
Where they're
somebody made them. Somebody had this load of poppers. And so I've just wound my little mini balls. That's what I'm going to
Oh, nice. They're nice.
That's what I've decided I'm going to cast
Number
on.
4 just said to me, when did I stop knitting? Well, I probably started knitting when I was a kid. I definitely started crocheting when I was it was when I was in hospital with meningitis. I made a blanket. So I was about 7 then. And I was knitting already then. And then, of course, I stopped knitting probably at about age 10 and never did any or crocheting until I was in my 20s, started doing a bit of crocheting, did loads of cross stitch, like bonkers cross stitch. And then I probably didn't start knitting again until I was in my 40s, late 40s. So I stopped doing that, but I was doing lots of other crafting, but I probably stopped knitting. I did an awful lot of cross stitching, lots and lots and lots of cross stitching and embroidery. But yeah, I didn't start knitting again probably until late 40s when I started going to the knitting group in Gainsborough after I'd retired. That's when I started knitting again, because I'd done crocheting. I was crocheting a lot of things. I started on the Attic 24 and that got me into it. And I started doing crocheting and then I started knitting again. And now I do more knitting than I do crocheting. So
yeah. Sorry, it's pouring down here. I thought, what is that noise? Oh, it's the rain.
Oh, Amanda's saying about my shawl. We just mentioned it. It's in double knit and it's by Knox Mountain Knits. And it's just 2 colours. There's some texture on it there. You can't really see it. It's got some diamonds in it. And it's called Laurel on Knox Mountain Knits. Dominique can put the link on.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's really nice. It was so easy to knit. I knit it. When did I cast it on? In the late 1940s. Wow, I'm so young. Don't I look good? I started knitting again in my late 40s.
Your late 40s, not the late 40s.
1940s. So I probably have been starting knitting seriously probably for the last, so I'm 52, so that's 5 or 6 years since I retired. Yeah, 5 or 6 years I would say. But I was crocheting before then. It's weird, isn't it, how you leave things and pick things up and leave them?
Yeah.
But I look amazing to be in my 70s, don't I? Fantastic. Not knit. When I had Grace, I didn't knit, which is bonkers. I didn't knit or anything because my mum was such a prolific knitter and my auntie was she used to knit loads and loads of Aran and cabling. So they did all the knitting when Grace was little. I didn't do any. I did absolutely none, which is shocking. I didn't make her anything. Because they were knitting it. They were knitting a little skirt. She had she had cable skirts. She had cable jumpers. She had blankets. I did none. Didn't do any knitting because I just wasn't. I didn't have time. When I had Grace, I was working. I was working full time. I didn't retire until Grace was 5. So when she was little and would wear things like that, I was working full time, so I didn't really have time.
But now you're knitting a bralettes.
Now I'm knitting a bralettes. Yeah, exactly.
So
it's weird. I've always crafted. So when I wasn't knitting and I was probably crocheting still. I was still making crochet things, but I wasn't. I was doing other stuff, card making, painting. I was mainly cross stitching. That's what I was doing, cross stitching. What else did we? Card making. What else? Painting. All sorts. I've always made things, but I just went through a hiatus of not knitting. It became a bit uncool, didn't it? Not that I am cool, but it became out of fashion, didn't it? And you couldn't get wool anywhere. You couldn't, I don't remember really seeing wool shops anywhere.
No, when I was younger, wool stores on the market.
Yeah. So I just, weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
How about you? When did you start knitting, Dominique?
Well, probably the same as you. I was taught to knit as a child. And I do remember knitting when I was younger. And I suppose it's something I've done on and off. I've gone through phases, but never like I'll knit something. Let me just knit a scarf or not doing anything. So it is only in the last 5, 6, 7 years maybe that I started doing more. But really, it wasn't until we started Wool is the Answer. I mean, the only thing I knit with, and I will still knit with it, but with Stylecraft.
And I crocheted. I was making loads and loads of stuff with crochet. I loads and loads of stuff. So so we started this. That we went back to knitting.
So I'd never knit with. I'd never really. Well, not never really. I'd never knit with wool. It'd always been acrylic. And I suppose as we started doing knit and natters, it's like anything. You surround yourself by people that do the same thing, and your confidence grows because,
yes,
I mean, my 12 Days of Christmas, which is still my favourite shawl, I look back now and I really, really struggled to knit that, but Iris was there to help. And
first pair of socks.
You get your confidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
By doing.
Because knitting my first pair of socks was just before we started Wool is the Answer. I'd never knit a pair of socks in my life, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I followed the Winnick mum, and it was her that got us into knitting socks. And then that sort of
you see, I hated them. I mean, I know in the last 6 months I've gone sock bonkers, but I hated socks.
And that got me introduced into indie dyes because I had no idea what indie dyes was. I had not a clue. Never been to yarn shows. The first yarn show I went to was Yarndale, and that was the year that we first started our business, wasn't it? We just started our business.
Yeah.
So we hadn't even been to yarn shows. But I just want to show you this. This is so when I say I do cross stitch, this is what I'm doing. So I made this, and I've even got, you see I was sensible then. I put the date on.
You put the date on?
1997, that.
I was going to say I can't see that, yeah.
So I made that. And it's weird because I found it in the loft. I mean, how bad is that? It's just in the loft. I've got loads of them. And I painted the frame and I painted the border. Can you see it's got a border? So I painted it because it was bright.
Yeah.
It was hideous. I just painted it with more. And it did have a glass frame on, but it had smashed. So it's just open to the elements. I thought, but I love that. So it's in the room.
If you don't frame it, then it just gets left in a bag or...
And I found Grace's, I did a baby sampler for her, but like in my mum and dad's house, they've got a lot that I made, and Pat and Fred, David's parents, have got a lot that I've made. Because again, I used to have them all over the house, and then they went a bit out of fashion. But I loved that, and I used to love sitting and doing, and that's something I'll probably go back to, because I saw you'd started doing some embroidery, hadn't you? Did you?
Me?
Did you not say you were starting to do some?
Well, I have, but I didn't think I'd shared it. Only because I've not got anything.
Comment. You shared it on a comment. I picked these up, you see, all detective eyes. You made a comment on an Instagram post.
I think it was because watching Ellie from Craft House Magic, she's got a craft along, and she's called it, I think the hashtag is something like craft 20 a day. Which just sounds odd to me because all I think is smoke 20 a day. But
yes, it sounds to me that's something to do with smoking.
Yeah, but it's and what she's saying is like just find 20 minutes a day. So before Christmas, she was sitting down religiously to do 20 minutes cross stitch because she'd got a massive cross stitch she wanted to finish. And I thought that'd be quite nice before I go to bed to try and switch off. Just do 20 minutes cross stitch. Well, I probably started it 2 weeks ago and I've probably done it about 5 times. So it's there, the thought's there, it's ready to go, but...
Because I remember embroidering. Can you remember the tablecloths that you used to embroider?
Yes.
I used to sit for ages and do them, and I remember sitting with her and doing the embroidery of and I've got one of her tablecloths down, I've still kept it. And I love doing those tablecloths, and I've often thought I'm going to start and do one. And I've never, again, it's not something I've got round to, but, and especially because you used to do it in all those bright colours as well. But I fancy doing one in sort of a, you know, like the fabric that you use now if you're just doing freelance embroidery. So it's like a very fine linen. And
yes.
Doing something in cream or grey. I fancy doing something like that just with some plain, not a huge amount.
I've done cross stitch, and I've still got cross stitch that I must have started 15 years ago, and I've not touched for about 8 years, I wouldn't think. But it's never something I've done, so
I relax it. Like Jane said, it has become a massive boom in lockdown.
But I'm not finding it relaxing. I'm just finding you spend 20 minutes doing something, you think, well, I've done like a 3mm square patch. It just, I will keep going. Well, maybe I'll keep going, and I will show it if there's anything to show, but it's not as therapeutic and enjoyable as I was hoping it might be.
Well, we got into dressmaking a lot. I mean, you started dressmaking. I'd always made clothes, and then again, I stopped when I was a teenager. I was always making my own clothes because it was cheap. I could go down the market, buy some fabric, and I could wear an outfit to go out in. Always doing that, and then I stopped, and then you started taking some dressmaking lessons, didn't you?
Yes.
And I ended up going along with Dominique, and we both became a bit addicted to that, didn't we? We were there at least once a week, twice a week, and we did loads, didn't we? Made lots and lots of things, clothes.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, we do both sew a bit, don't we? But nowhere near. I mean, we were knocking out all sorts, weren't we? Trousers, our own toiles, and making our own clothes, and
which I would pick that up and I would go and do. It's time. I just don't. That was when I was doing 4 on 4 off.
Yeah.
And then when I went to uni, I just didn't have any time. So lockdown has been a godsend for me in as much as I go to work and I've got no other commitments.
Yeah.
And I do know I am the only person in the world that has enjoyed lockdown, but it has given me that time when I'm off, I'm at home, and I can then do what I enjoy doing. Otherwise, you work, you end up going out and
you have
being
to see
busy.
people, don't you, Dominique? I mean, for heaven's sake, I mean,
it's perfect. It has. Yeah, it's been good for me.
Social friend, have you met my introverted, extrovert, antisocial friend?
It has been good for, which is why I think that's why one of the things I thought, I'd actually done a lot of knitting in January, which is why I put the post up, and I thought, do you know what? It will be nice to look back, because people keep saying they're not achieving anything, not doing anything through lockdown. Well, actually, those of us that craft, we really are. So
it's amazing what you do. It's nice. I thought it was a fantastic idea to put everything that you've made in.
Well, it's Caroline's. Caroline did it all the way through last year.
Great idea. Because as I say, the only way I know is I go through the Instagram, because everything I'm doing I tend to put on there. And it's amazing when you think, God, I made all that this year.
Yeah. Judith is looking at English pattern piece.
Oh, we've done that. Been there, we've done that, yeah. I used to sit for hours with sewing with paper hexagons and different things. I've got so much in the cupboard, like half-made quilts, it's ridiculous. I was going to make Grace when she went to university, out of David's old shirts. I was going to make her a blanket. She's in her last year at university, and I had this idea when she was 16, so there you go.
So sorry, I'm just saying it's right though, isn't it? Because you've not got, you don't have to do anything, so you can just
got no excuse. You don't have to make excuses not to do things.
You can just spend time and do it. Yeah. So
if you don't want to go out anywhere, you don't have to make an excuse if you don't want to go.
Exactly.
So it's just, what have you done all day? Well, I've sat and knitting, I've like potted, and I've made this, and I've done that, I've stuck this, and I've coloured this, and nobody goes, what, you've got nothing else to do?
Yeah.
No, it's normal. Welcome to the wonderful world of what crafters really would love to be in their
Exactly. World. Yes. Yeah.
I bet that's really nice then, Judith, Jane, sorry, to have a tablecloth that was done. I think
that's a really nice idea. This is why, because I've not had to go anywhere other than work, I've still got a bit more. After 2 or 3 weeks ago, when I had a bit of a strop because I really didn't like it, I picked it up again this week.
I like it in 2 colours.
I've not got much done, I've just
really
picked it
like
up
it.
again, but I am much happier with it in just the two colours.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So
I really like that in two colours.
as much as when you put all the colours together, it looked fantastic. And some people have done it in like a rainbow. It looked fantastic, but it just wasn't working for me. So I've gone back and I mean, just look.
Yeah.
How can that not make you smile when you come round and you see a little sheep in a jumper as a stitch marker?
Especially if you're wearing a sheep in a jumper as well.
Oh. So, I mean, this is going to be a long-term thing because it's 4-ply. It's going to take forever, but
Nice.
I don't like wasting things. So I'm just knitting. I'm just knitting from the jumper I'd started. So then I don't waste that. And then I can go back to the other skein that's ready to go. But yeah. It's making me happy when I do this. Good. It's making me happy.
And that's what we were talking about the other week, wasn't it, with whips that we'd got, that if it's not making you happy and you feel like it's a chore, either pull it out or move on to something else and pick it up later, because there's nothing worse than making something you don't want to do and you're not enjoying it.
No.
Especially at this time.
You get into the trap of thinking, well, I've spent so many hours, it's half done. Well, if you don't like it, you're not going to wear it.
Exactly.
While you're ahead. So, and of course, this just makes me smile because it's in that. I
mean, we like our Rick Rack Room bags, and I'm surrounded by them.
I know, so am I, but it makes me smile. So, but yeah, there's not much on it, but I have done a little bit. So I thought, well, it can come out now. It's come out of the naughty corner. I'm back to, I think I've done 2 more rounds than when I ripped it out. So that's made me feel better that I'm now progressing.
Pencil? What's on your pencil? Eat, sleep, knit, repeat. There you go. That sums it all up, doesn't it?
That's one of, I think you bought me this. It was one of in a pack from Stationary Geek.
Yeah, Stationary Geek. We like Stationary Geek. We like stationery. Yeah. We might be geeks.
I like a pencil.
Oh, like pencils. Yeah. Yeah. We're a bit sad like that.
Yeah.
Are you making a list there this time?
I am making a list.
Oh, I mean,
I'm making a list just because I know I go through them, but it saves me I don't have to pay quite as much attention.
You don't have to listen to our voices. Did you get this book title? Do you need the book title again?
No, I've got it.
God, she's on it.
Got that one. I think I've remembered everything because we've gone through.
Good.
I've not. That's all my knitting. That's all I've got to show.
It's a bit shameful this week. I have been busy, but it's just on. I've been working on the same project. But
I've got something else to do. Oh, go on.
I'm going to do this in a black and cream. So next time you're dyeing, can you dye me a midnight on double knit, please? But only when we're.
Yeah.
When you're doing some. God, temperature's just dropped.
Midnight and double knit. I can do that. But what came yesterday?
Oh, what have you bought now?
No, this is my, the 3 monthly Beaches and Birds song.
Oh, that's nice colours. So how many grams have you got there? 40?
Yes. So this is Snowy Evergreens and Hellebore.
Oh, nice.
I love them colours.
How funny is that? Because you inadvertently were talking about hellebores last week.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Really nice.
So, and then you always get a little, so there's a little heart stitch marker. And then there was a little pack of Swizzlers.
Where did they go?
They were in my tummy. I came in yesterday. This was waiting for me, and I thought, oh, there's going to be sweets in there. So I got that excited. I got more excited about eating sweets because I just needed them yesterday rather than the yarn. And then I opened them and saw the yarn and thought, oh, that's beautiful.
I really like those colours. What are you going to make with it? You know?
So this was January's.
Nice.
And this is
February.
February.
They're all very muted themes, aren't they? Beautiful.
Yeah.
really pretty.
So I've got one more to come that I bought and paid for. I think I probably will get the next quarters as well because I really do like them.
Nice.
But I'm going to wait for them all to come
and
then decide what I'm going to
and
do.
do they
with
all
them.
sort of go together? Is that the
Yes,
idea?
so it's
It's a theme.
and I'm going to say flora and fauna, and I don't think it is, but it is. Yes, it's a theme of because these are all plants, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh no, they're not at all. Because that was Morning Light and Sea Mist. I can't remember what the club was.
Right. Okay.
Because it was in December, and all you get is just a little with what the colours are. So it wasn't flora and fauna at all.
Sounded good when you said it.
It did, but then Morning Light and Sea Mist are definitely not. So but just look at them two together.
Maybe it's coast and coastland.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Nature. Maybe it's just nature.
I'll put the link on to the Etsy shop, but it's Beaches and Birdsong. So that came yesterday. Or did it come on Wednesday? It came on the 3rd or the 4th. And they do say they'll come at the beginning of the month. So I've got one more to come in March.
So just again, those who've just joined talking about the beginning of the month, the bakery boxes will go out for the 1st of March. And we've got a few left, but they will go off being on sale this weekend. So if anybody wants one, just have a look on the website. There was something I was going to say there. What were we talking about? Oh, I remembered what it is. The retreat. We've had a couple of emails from people wondering who've booked the retreat, which we're having in, is it June?
July.
I knew it began with a J. And asking why we haven't sent out the forms that we need you to fill in for who's coming and every bits and bits. We haven't sent them out yet because we don't know if it's definitely going ahead. We're hoping it will go ahead, but
we're planning for it to go ahead.
We've got no idea, have we? I mean, we're not going to know, but don't panic. Those people who have paid your deposits, if it can't go ahead because of COVID, you will get your money back. So
yes,
don't panic. The money's sat there. It's there. We haven't touched it. It's in.
But we just don't.
We're not going to do anything because
no, we're not.
We need to be speaking to the venue. We need to speak to our insurance company again. There's lots of variables that are constant.
Well, we need to wait and see what the government say. And I mean, that's ultimately that is going to be what's. Yeah. It's the 11th to the 14th of July.
It's going to boil down to whether it can go ahead from government advice and our insurance, because again, that's changing depending on what government advice is. So, as it stands, we're hoping it'll go ahead, but
we're working on it going ahead. Yeah.
Do not panic. Your money is safe. We haven't spent it. It is in a separate account. And it's all there, but don't panic if you haven't received any forms or anything. It's because we're not sending it until we know exactly what's going on, and even then it's still going to be, who knows, from one week to another. But so don't worry, everybody. That's why we haven't sent out any forms.
Thank you, Claire. It's the Nature Trail Mini Yarn Club.
Oh,
thank you. Cool. I mean, I did order it in December, so you forget, but Nature Trail, that makes sense now.
Yeah, it sounds really good. I quite fancy joining a like a skein club, but I like the idea of minis.
Yeah.
Do you know roughly how did we have this conversation last time?
We've had this conversation and I really can't remember. And I think I just made it up.
I think you probably did. Convincingly made it up.
I think I guessed and then probably underestimated.
And then you did your statement.
Just talk amongst yourselves and I'll see very quickly if I can.
Well, that does make sense then if it's called Nature Trail.
Yes, it really does.
That accounts for everything. Well done, Claire.
Yes. And I just liked the fact that it's delayed gratification, isn't it? Because you pay for it in December, you kind of forget about it, and then all of a sudden something comes to the letterbox. It's free.
It's free. It's like a gift, isn't it?
clearly it's not free, but you know what I mean.
It is because you haven't paid for it that month.
Exactly. And you've not ordered it, it's just suddenly come. So I've just found they're not on there for the next quarter, and I can't find my receipt for buying it last time. I don't know.
So it's a certain amount. I mean, it's really useful, this information, isn't it?
Well, it's not on there yet, so you can't order it for next month anyway. So I'll keep an eye out, and when she puts on the next quarters, then I'll let everyone know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I've got nothing else. I'm searching around here. I've got nothing else to show. Nothing else really to talk about.
I've just got one other thing that I'd written down to remember. And it's a good job I'd remember because it was on the previous page.
Oh.
I mean, we're going back to last year, but we both read the Thursday Murder Club. You didn't particularly enjoy it, and I really did enjoy it. And everyone was asking questions, and is it on audiobook? At the minute, for a limited time only, it is on... it is an audiobook, but BBC have got it. In 15-minute episodes.
BBC Radio 4, it's going out live every day on BBC Radio 4, but it's on BBC Sounds.
It's on BBC Sounds, so it's an abridged version. But for those of you that, if you either wanted a flavour of it or wanted to listen to it without having to buy it, it's there on BBC Sounds. And they're up to about chapter...
I came across it the other day because I was looking on my BBC Sounds for something to listen to at night, and I thought, oh, it's on.
I think they're up to chapter 14 at the minute. And like I said, they're just 15-minute chunks, and I'm guessing it's a chapter at a time. Yeah. So it was just because we were talking about it. It's there. Chapter or episode 1 rather is available for the next 20 days.
Yeah.
So they must have put them up for a 31-day period and then they'll disappear. Yeah. But I just wanted to say, because we've spoken about that book so much, it's there on BBC Sounds.
I like Judith's logic there. If you can't find the receipt, it's free.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It must be free.
Absolutely free.
Yeah.
Oh, well remember. Yeah, that's funny. I did see that, and I thought I'm going to wait till there's a few and then listen to them en masse. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Well, I did. I just sat the other day. I mean, 15 minutes is enough, and I like switch off. So how you listen to audiobooks, but because I've read it and it's still fairly fresh in my mind, it's easier to do. But I just find myself suddenly like, I don't look out the window or. What is that noise? Oh yeah, I'm meant to be listening to it. So it's not the best version for me, but it's there if anybody wants to have a go.
I think that says more about your personality than you could have said in a lot of sentences.
Well,
easily distracted.
But I'm not for some things. I'm not for lots of things. I've sat for 5 hours this morning, from 5 o'clock this morning, watching the cricket.
Well, I was just about to ask, because I spoke to Dad earlier, and I said, are you all right? He said, I'm a bit tired. I went, is cricket on? He went, oh yeah, it was on from like 4:30 this morning. I went, oh.
It was on from 3:45, but I woke up at 4 and thought, I'll wait a little bit, and I put it on at 5.
I said, I know somebody else who will have been listening to that then. Yeah.
Not listening, watching. It's free on terrestrial.
And then you've also got the rugby. You got the rugby this weekend. So I mean, you're going to be like
football,
15 screens again.
Oh, in fact, I think we're back to January. Everything was free. All the football, Premier League was free. I don't think it is anymore.
Oh.
Anyway, so I've just looked. Judith's using her minis from the Gidday yarn to knit a scrappy caramel sweater.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm going to write that down, Judith, and go and have a look at that one. Caramel.
Scrappy caramel sweater. That sounds nice, and it's.
I'm going to go and have a look at that. Thank you.
1 strand sock and 1 strand floof.
Such a fast. I like the idea. It's such a fast knit. Yes, it was good, Jane. I did think when they lost 2 wickets in 5 balls that we were going to have a bit of a collapse, but we didn't. That's it. How's England doing in the cricket? They're doing well. And I can't remember, there were like 206, 200 and something for 3. They lost the last wicket with 4 balls of the day's play to go. So he would have been a bit upset. But Joe Root, who is the England captain, it was his 100th test and he scored 100.
That's all that Dad kept wishing on about. Joe Root scored 100. Okay, Dad, you don't do the
because I think he's about the 8th person in history ever to do that, score 100 on your 100th test. So he's yeah, very good. But right. That was the only other thing. I just 263 for 3. I knew there were 260 for something. I just wanted to mention the Thursday Night Murders Club on BBC.
Good stuff. Well, if there's nothing anybody else needs to know from us,
check out Kate at Hawthorne Cottage. She started it. Right, thank you.
So if there's anything anybody wants to ask us, type it quick. If not, Dominique will be finding a board after she's written a copious notes there.
Well, only because I can't always find the live chat easily, so it's easier to write Kate at Hawthorne Cottage now.
We shall say goodbye and we will see you next week. Thanks for joining us. We love it.
Have a good week.
Interact.
Stay warm and stay inside if it's going to snow.
Safe and behave.